Woo! It's your boy Karceno. This is the post-fight for Bradley versus Marquez. Now, let's get right into it. I'm a genius. No. You guys are starting to see, because it's happening more frequently, my knowledge of the boxing game is far vast than a lot of these people on the line who thought this would be a whitewash either way. They were wrong. This is one fight that could have been a draw, could have been a Marquez win, could have been a Bradley win. And a lot of people are going to be like, man, how did you score the fight? I scored the fight basically a draw or 1 point, a 1-round win for Timothy Bradley. And I'm going to tell you why. It was 2 chapters in this fight. Chapter 1, Bradley. Chapter 2, Marquez. In this fight, Timothy Bradley had the right game plan. Keep the distance, box Marquez. He has trouble with movement. Look, contrary to what a lot of people think, Manny Pacquiao is not a mover. He comes straight down the pipe. If you give him lateral movement from side to side in box, you will give Marquez problems. And then when you punch, get low. If you get low, Marquez can't catch you with counters flush. And that was the game plan. That is what Floyd Mayweather did to him. And frustrated Marquez because he couldn't get set, he couldn't punch, and every time he wanted to get punched, he was jabbed in the face. So it offset everything Marquez wanted to do. And you can tell Marquez was getting frustrated. He started playing along with Tim Bradley, posing in the ring. But I saw Marquez get old tonight. And these are some of the things I saw in the Marquez fight. Because when you work with Memo likes to work with weights. And weights on a boxer is not necessarily good. It hinders you in the long run of a fight. And what has happened to Juan Manuel Marquez, who's a good jabber and a combination puncher, is it lessens your output. You punching harder, but you're going to throw less. Because, one, your body's going to get heavy. Your body's heavier. You're going to be putting a lot of weight on your front foot. And your balance is not going to be correct. And you saw that a lot today. Where were the 3-punch combinations by Marquez? They didn't exist. Everything was a power shot. Where was the jab? Non-existent. And a lot of times the shots were there. Marquez, the opening was there. Marquez didn't turn on the left, and he was just letting Bradley run around the ring. And Timothy Bradley was able to keep the distance, keep the jab working early, and he got into a good rhythm because Marquez wasn't making him pay. Marquez was saving it for the later round, for the second half of the rounds. But what he was doing was landing something hard. When he landed something on Bradley, it was hard. And he wanted to make sure he keep putting something in the bank, but when he should have been doing it earlier in the fight. He was throwing a lot of headshots, trying to land that one home run right hand up top, which Tim was pretty much rolling a lot of those with his shoulder. So he wasn't really catching them flush the way he wanted to. But he was trying to land the one shot to get him knocked out. See, the worst thing that happened to Marquez is that he actually got Bradley's attention in the first round with a short left uppercut, and Bradley got to feel his power, and then he got Bradley's respect. Because once Bradley felt like, okay, yeah, Marquez can crack, then his alertness kicked in, and he became more aware and sticking to the game plan and saying, this is what we're going to do. We're going to box, we're going to stay on the outside and use this movement. Yeah, he got stupid at times, but he'll recover quick and get back to the game plan. And he did that correctly for the first half of the fight. Second half of the fight, Marquez stepped the pace up. And the pace was starting to wear on Bradley. Plus, good body shots was being placed by Marquez when Bradley was trying to trade with him upstairs. Marquez was throwing really good body shots. He was hurting him with lefts to the liver. You know, he got he got Bradley to slow down a little bit, and Bradley was putting weight on his front foot, leaning over. He was getting low, but he was leaning over, and then he wasn't bouncing around the ring no more. He was walking around the ring. He started to slow. Marquez is closing the pace. He's throwing hard shots with lefts and rights. You know, see, these are the things that were starting to go in his favor, and he changed the tempo. Marquez stepped the tempo up, and Bradley was trying to keep pace, and he was dictating the flow instead of letting Bradley dictate all the time. And a lot of people saw Marquez as inactive. What he was doing was setting a trap for Bradley to engage and get courage to come in and want to take risks. And it wasn't working. Bradley was just like, no, I'm going to keep this distance and I'm going to stay right here. I'm not going to be stupid. But in the later rounds, he got really stupid. And he started giving up that space because he was feeling those body shots. And the fight got a lot closer, and Marquez got him a lot in range and caught him a lot of times on the ropes because he couldn't really move to get away from him. So he had to tie him up and do what he had to do, spin him, so he could try to start over again. So those later rounds, those championship rounds, I was giving to Marquez because he was pulling those out and he really needed them. So either he had to fall 1 point short or draw or Bradley winning by a point. I mean, this fight could have went either way you looked at it or wanted to score. A lot of rounds were close of what did you wanted to see rounds. But for me, I thought a lot of them were telling. The rounds Bradley won, I think he clearly won. And then it was some that where Bradley started off early, Marquez would close, or Marquez was winning the round, Bradley came back and closed, and you got to decide on who gets that round based on what you wanted to see, you know. So it's a difficult pill to swallow, but can nobody take this away from Tim Bradley? And he won. And I think Mayweather should be next. I mean, if I could choose between Amir Khan or Timothy Bradley, I mean, that's a no-brainer. You go with Timothy Bradley. And to say you think Amir Khan is going to sell more tickets than Tim Bradley, I mean, I'm really not convinced about that either. Because a lot of people don't really know Amir Khan like that or even care about him. Especially the people that's buying pay-per-view. They don't really know who Amir Khan is. So, you know, it is what it is. But congratulations to Tim Bradley, and I think he should call out Mayweather. And I think that is the fight that should be made, even though promotional reasons it wouldn't happen. But what a fight that would be. I mean, it's more intriguing than the CM fight Provodnikov again. You know, it's just like, why? And I'm exhausted right now. I'm going to go ahead and give me some rest so I can get up tomorrow and get prepared and give you guys more. Good night.